Alright, I think we're streaming.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can check. No, not just at the last 5 seconds like last time. Nope, it does say live. Okay, good. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot if it was called Honey Factory. Where dreams and hopes come true. Alright. Yes. What's that look like? Oh, that's good. Alright, so this is where we were. Is it last week?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, that'll go that way, I'm sure.
Remember, you can use your boomerang to...
Yeah. It goes this way. Now we have a badge that prevents the enemy from striking first.
Correct.
That's convenient for me. Because I have the reflexes of an 85-year-old man. Beep boop. That's funny. Yeah, I still don't know what difference it makes when it does that, because I don't think I've let one live long enough.
I think it alternates which attack they use.
Yeah, I guess so. Haha! Shirachua. Wow. I should belittle myself more often. Bonk. I think I hit the wrong button. Uh-oh.
Take him out
Better
quick.
beat it fast. Yeah, better beat it fast. Alright, hooray. Give me delicious berries. Alright,
One moment, my cat's currently having a panic attack.
okay. Wrong button. Good thing that I don't think that takes any damage away. I don't know why I keep getting some of these buttons confused. Oh, and I can walk with this, I keep forgetting. But I can't jump. God, I forgot, I just remember they remade the movie White Man Can't Jump. Why the hell would they remake that movie? The training grounds. I don't want to be here.
I am back. She got freaked out by a dust bunny.
I understand. Hooray!
So, you like that dungeon I ran Sunday that I failed to record?
Yeah, it was nice. I liked my characters, or the characters we played. My character and the other characters, and it's good. It was a sort of I don't know, nice classic dungeon.
What about everybody's favorite character?
That
Oakbolt,
you stole
no.
from Wayne Radio. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, it's an idea.
I'm not saying I didn't like it.
I mean, you didn't even notice that it was from him until I told you.
I thought I have seen that series. I at least part of it, and I did think it sounded familiar. But yeah,
You have failed the challenge.
whatever. I got to beat up some gnomes. And making a joke that I stole from a friend of mine who stole it from Barats and Beretta, I think.
The upside of tabletop RPGs is the massive amounts of plagiarism you can get away with.
This is true. I mean, if it weren't for plagiarism, there wouldn't be Dungeons and Dragons, so... I mean, it's not technically plagiarism, but you know what I mean.
I mean, there was a lot of plagiarism in early Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Eat a crunchy leaf.
I am. That's good. I love that that noise is clearly somebody making a clock noise with their tongue. Oh. Hmm. Yeah. Alright, missed that one. Amber honey? Not sure I get the pun. Oh. Must have had to get it on top, but that would be annoying. So I hope that's not true. I think I just need to get it over here.
You just put on the two buttons.
Yeah. Oh. Oh, okay, good.
It comes
I was
back
like,
down.
What the hell? Yeah. I was like, how the hell do I solve that one? But I guess they won that one. Nope. That one. Alright, I don't do it as well, because just try it with my thumb.
Yeah, you have to do the proper grip and stuff.
Yeah, I have to adopt the true gamer's pose. Ooh, it took some damage. That's neat. What? I definitely pressed it on time. Oh, just 2 more and I can level up. Ooh! Ooh. Key card. Oh! Oh! What? How did that make any sense?
I'm not sure what the hell you did, honestly.
I froze this and then that opened. Doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. I mean, I gotta go do this puzzle again, which is fine.
Oh, you had to. That's because it made the. If both of the buttons are on, then the gate is up.
Oh, and I can only have 2 ice cubes out at a time.
Yeah.
I guess. I'm sure
You can only have 1 ice cube per water drip.
Oh, it's the same water drip.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it. Oh, okay. That does make sense.
You just sort of accidentally figured it out.
Oh, come back.
Admittedly, I think that one's kind of hard to intuit because you can't really see up there when you're not actually up there.
Oh, I know how to do that. Yeah. Oh, come on. I want it.
I think it's just too high, man.
I want it. Why does this go this high then?
So you can jump to the right?
I guess. Maybe? Try. I don't think I can jump to the right, but I'll try. Nope.
Do or do not. There is no try.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Yoda.
You must attempt before you can accomplish, Yoda.
Thanks, Yoda. What a fucking helpful statement that is.
Yeah, was Yoda ever helpful, really, in anything he said?
Let's see, he rode in Skywalker's back. He...
hold on, I can remember what he did. I met him in a swamp down in Dagobah, where it bubbles all the time. Yeah. He rode on his back, and he lifted some rocks. And he pulled up the X-Wing. And he made him go into the tree.
No, he didn't make him go in the tree. He told him not to go in the tree. Because, see his dark side.
Right.
Gonna read the sign?
What? Hold on. I think my controller may have just died. Without telling me. Okay, now the light flashes. Thanks. Plugging in my controller. Yes, there we go. There we go. The sign. Yeah, trading grounds. Door's only open for a while. Nope. Okay, I can't stand on the thing.
Yeah.
Can I? I can't. Hold on. I can't. Fun.
Hold it there.
And then
run across when it's good.
Oh, yeah. I see what you mean. Okay, that brought that down. That opened, yes. Alright, that's definitely a different solution. Ooh!
Good to know.
Very good to know. Okay, now how do I solve this puzzle?
I don't know, you're the puzzle solver.
Apparently. Okay, so it's definitely not possible to just run across like the other one. I can't just jump onto this conveyor belt. Oh, I get it. It's down, it'll take a minute before it comes back. And... And then I turn that off and then do okay.
And then you gotta switch to the guy
X.
and your shield.
Yeah.
So make sure you know which
exactly.
button gets straight to the guy.
Yeah, it's X. But I think I have to have my yeah. Oh,
Way to screw it up immediately.
yeah. I hit the button, but it just didn't go.
You gotta hold it.
Yeah, I did hold it. But what do I need? What do I need? Like a hand cam here or something? Prove I'm not entirely incompetent at video games.
I don't know. Lots of speedrunners cheat all the time.
Yeah, true. Come on, don't do it yet. Oh, it did it. No, 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 no.
I think you gotta cross towards the bottom of the grid, so you have
Yes.
to cover less distance.
Oh, come on. It's the least. Ugh. It would have had an arrow. It's the only thing I miss about Yick is it had that little laser thing. That was very convenient. Okay. No. Yes. Another. A factory pass.
And you can just
There's
walk.
no other thing over there yet. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Go over there.
You're gonna miss those delicious XPs at some point, though.
Yeah, I need 2 more to level up, but I don't want to get, laser floored. I'm sure there will be other opportunities to level up. Oh, I guess I could just drop down, can't I?
Yeah.
Yay! Yay, plant breath. Alright, gamer grip. There we go. Who cares about a little repetitive strain injury?
Certainly not Mario Party,
No, apparently not.
especially with the fucking N64 analog stick.
Yeah, was it Mario Party 3 or something? It was just wood tear holes in the hands of children.
It was one of the first 3, I think.
Yeah, one of the first few.
I mean, all the Mario parties on the 64 were pretty bad for that, but
Ooh. Spicy.
yeah, there was one that was especially bad. But yeah, that shit. It's like, okay, why don't I just, fucking stab my hand with a pin? Why don't you?
Yeah. I mean, you gotta admire Nintendo in that era for, having a different kind of controller, but nobody ever used the, I guess it's called the home position. Everybody always used the right-hand position, which made all the most sense. You could actually have a left-hand position, which nobody ever used, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
What do I want? I think I want more HP. What?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh.
yeah, as you said, right, admittedly, we were still trying to figure out, the optimum design for a good control scheme for consoles, especially 3D ones.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the first DualShock controller for the PlayStation didn't even have analog sticks.
That's true.
And but now we've basically all just sort of settled on a
Oh. This is just the same thing I was doing. Yeah, on a standard design.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm using an Xbox 360, or not 360, but Xbox S, whatever, controller right now. And that's essentially perfect.
The Xbox no scope.
And it's better than both the original Xbox controller and the Xbox S controller. I think it was the S controller, like the small one that wasn't fucking huge. God.
Yeah, there's there's that first Xbox controller. I think they called it the Duke.
The Duke.
And you keep running off the edge.
I know. Well, it's 3D platforming with no camera control. Like, I literally can't tell how far it is from me. No, I'm not. See, I just sink through it.
Maybe
so
you
I just
gotta
can't...
freeze it?
Oh, maybe I gotta freeze it. Yeah, in fact, I think we did this one before, but with water. How was I supposed to know honey would behave exactly the same way water does? Ah, come on. It should just have, like, one of a number of stated positions, right? You know, where it doesn't just freeze exactly there, so I can't get into that mess. Remember the original design for the PS3 controller before everybody said it sucked?
No, I don't actually.
The boomerang controller? The banana
Oh, wait,
controller?
now I remember. Now you say it, I remember. Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
that was a fucking dumb idea. Almost as bad as the fucking marketing campaign for the PS3.
My god, the boy with the baby?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Fucking, baby doll in the blank white room crying, and it's like, with the sound of a baby's crying, and then, blood seeps out of the wall, and then it comes on. Buy PS3. It's like, what the fuck is this?
The original PlayStation 3 had the Spider-Man font for some weird reason.
Yeah.
I love my PlayStation 3. I really do. I don't have a PS5, but that's because we're back in the rate. Like, okay, so like there was the era in like the 90s where game consoles were not as interesting and innovative as PCs, right? That because PCs had it was the original place to go for like Doom and Half-Life and shit like that, and like PlayStation was kind of getting into the 3D game, and N64 kind of getting into the 3D game, and then like the early 2000s, like right through the PS3 era, you had to have a console, right? I mean, like the PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, Xbox 360. The Xbox original if you wanted Halo and Check Grind Radio. But anyway, and now we're back in the era of everything worth having is available on PC, pretty much. So.
Yeah. I think like during the 80s, you had a period where consoles and arcades were way better. And then in the 90s, you had a period where I think they were consoles and PCs were sort of neck and neck. Then you had a period where consoles were just better, and then we slowly transitioned to an era where PCs are just better. Or computer games.
Yeah. Well, for one thing, like my computer, this one that I'm on right now, is like 7 years old, and it was mid-range when I built it, because I wanted to build a mid-range, because I didn't want to spend $1 million. And it runs everything I need it to run. Maybe not amazingly, but it runs perfectly well. Yeah, so we've got a lot... no, granted, I don't buy shitty, unoptimized games, but... So, I don't know. Specs aren't as important anymore.
Yeah, there's been a plateauing of the technology. And really, if you want, like, the top-of-the-line, graphical fidelity, you have to get a custom PC.
Yeah.
Consoles just don't deliver that. And a lot of the benefits of consoles, right, the fact that they are... Right, they're plug and play, right? You don't have to fiddle around with any, like, troubleshooting or anything else like that. Just isn't true anymore, right? Because they've been because they've become so much more like how PCs work. You can get all sorts of weird fiddly bullshit on consoles.
Alright, that sucked. Yeah, like, I remember the PS3's cross-media bar was like for a console that did more than just play video games and could actually get kind of on the internet a little bit. It was basically perfect, simple, a few categories is great, and then the PS4's cross media bar version just too fiddly, too complicated. It was trying to be too App Store-y. I hate it. The Apple App Store experience has ruined everything, including Apple products.
Yeah, basically. Capitalists love ruining things for people. It's a flying enemy, so you're going to have to use a spell.
Right.
Or one of your throwing, nuts.
I don't think I have any of the throwing nuts anymore. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you could call it convergence, I guess, right? Every console is just like every other console.
Yeah, I think the only console that actually stands out as a thing you'd want independent from a PC is actually the Switch.
Yeah. Of the new generations, the only one I have.
Yeah. Because it's the only one that offers something you can't just get on a PC easier and cheaper.
Right. I mean, not to mention it's Nintendo, so it's all the first-party properties, but
yeah.
Still, even beyond that.
And I think Steam has tried to sort of compete with the Steam Deck or whatever, but...
No.
But I think that's going to go the same way with the Steam Machine.
Yeah, I mean, it's clearly a superior product than the Steam Machine. Or the Steam Link, or...
I mean, it fills a niche that exists, that they do not that is not necessarily currently filled by their customer base.
I mean, well, it suffers from the same thing. A lot of, like... I'm sure there's another product I can think of that fits this, but, like, it's trying to be a portable PC, and you can't get the PC experience in a handheld.
Yeah,
right? You just can't. Whereas the Switch, everything built for the Switch is either a port, but it's ported to that, right, the Switch, or it's built for the Switch. In which case, either way, you're going to get something the experience is designed for that console. Whereas Steam Deck is just make whatever game you want, and we'll run it on this hardware. Like, I'm sure there are some games that specifically design like control schemes and stuff to be compatible with the Steam Deck, but I don't think the Steam Deck has wide enough adoption for that to matter or be worth it.
Yeah.
So, and it's sort of a catch-22.
So you know how grocery stores are price gouging us?
Like everybody, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, especially as of late. Yeah, one of the funny things, though, is that the Trader Joe's I live in hasn't been raising their... hasn't been raising their prices as much. I don't live in a Trader Joe's, I promise. They have...
just skulking. Currently, you're hiding in the freezer section behind the milk. No, anyway, go on.
I constantly rearrange the milk so the soonest expiration dates are always in the front.
Anyway, so they haven't been raising their prices as quickly.
Correct, right. So now it's cheaper for me to buy shit from Trader Joe's than it is to buy shit from my, middle of the road local grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so for example, like at my grocery store right now, they have like a bag of frozen chicken tenders for like $12,
Jesus.
which is absurd.
Yeah.
And at Trader Joe's, they sell frozen chicken tenders, same weight, higher quality for $8.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, so it's like, well, so, right, it's totally irrational, right? Like, why is it more expensive to buy an inferior product?
It's interesting because the market proprietarian response would be, well, everybody will go to Trader Joe's, and then everybody else will lower their prices and up their quality ratio to compete, and eventually all the stores will be the same. And then that just doesn't happen.
Yeah, it just doesn't happen, right? And I think there's confounding factors to it. One, Trader Joe's has a fairly limited selection, so it's pretty difficult to shop for groceries exclusively at Trader Joe's. Like, they don't have like aluminum foil and some other kitchen niceties. So for those, you have to go to a different kind of grocery store. Um, so unlike most other grocery stores where you can more or less live off, if you go to a mainline, grocery store like Kroger, or, whatever, right? Most of those have enough product variety that you could live off of what you buy there pretty much all the time. Uh,
Right.
Trader Joe's not quite. They need to have a slightly better selection to do that. So that's the
Well,
first thing.
and if you go to like a super Target or something, you can buy screws.
Yeah,
So, you know,
yeah. So the selection isn't quite good enough to totally supplant going to other grocery stores. The second problem is limited availability. Right, there aren't many Trader Joe's around. So if you live far away from one, right, like it's gonna be a journey. Uh, I just happen to be lucky and live near one. Um, so that's the second thing, and the third thing is it relies on people, going to different grocery stores, right? Because if you always just shop at the same grocery store, right, you're just gonna put up with the heightened prices, not knowing that there might be other places that have better prices.
what asymmetry of information in the
Yeah,
marketplace?
yeah, and of course, right. I think people think of Trader Joe's a lot like they think of Whole Foods, even though I think they're very different operations, actually. Right?
Right.
Whole Foods is expensive as fuck for really not much higher quality. They're really only good if you want like really exotic vegan shit.
Yeah, I used to listen to this. I still do, not as much as I used to, unfortunately, but I used to listen to this podcast, The Mike O'Mara Show, and I think they used to call it Whole Paycheck.
Yeah, which is true, right? It's
Uh,
way too expensive for what you get out of it. Really, the only reason to go there is for specialty exotic stuff you can't get out anywhere else.
it's the only place I could ever find bonito flakes.
Yeah. Um, but other than like very narrow range stuff like that, there's literally no reason to go there. It's just overpriced bullshit.
It's
But
fair.
but Trader Joe's is different. One, they're cheaper than Whole Foods, and two, they're very very high quality. Uh, like I mean, hell, their pasta and pasta sauce are cheaper than than my big box grocery store. Right? It can get a pound of spiral pasta for 99 cents, and a thing of in a jar of tomato sauce that's pretty good quality for a buck 80.
Yeah, pasta's the way to go for cheap food.
So that's like two, throwing in taxes, right? That's $3 for a day's worth of food. And then even fuck like uh the um the impossible meat is cheaper than actual meat anymore.
Really,
Yeah.
I
Right.
had heard that meat prices were going up.
Yeah, like at the Trader Joe's, which again, right, has better prices than my big box grocery store for some reason. Um, right, like the impossible meat I think is like 650, and the 90% lean beef, I think even like the 80% lean beef is like $7.
Wow.
And like the only meat that competes with it is ground pork and like the 70% lean beef. And honestly, you lose so much of the 70% lean beef through, the fat coming out, which you can't just all eat,
Right.
because it gets nasty. Um, uh,
Soupy.
yeah, it's more worthwhile to, right. You get more actual poundage out of the uh, fucking soy meat. So it's like, well, fuck. I guess I'm eating soy meat now.
Okay, I see what's going on here. No. Oh, okay, I get it. It just swaps between these two positions, which means I need to get on. I need to get on, and then tell them to swap it. And this probably goes back here. Yes. Fine. think I can make this jump. Yes! Hooray! I love puzzles that do that. Like, they don't make you go back through the puzzle. It's just not frustrating, which is what is good about video games that are designed well.
Unlike some other video games we can mention.
Yes, unlike some. That's 3. Hooray! Wait, hold on. Is there a save thing? Okay. Playing fast and loose with the game now. Alright.
Use them special abilities.
Yeah, I'm gonna have... Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna have him rush through it.
Assume the position.
Yes. Excellent. Bloop, bloop, bloop.
Okay.
Does he have any frigid coffin, bubble shield? No. It's fine. That's what I thought. Oh, Obama honey. I didn't notice the... Oh, that still isn't a good pun.
What did Michelle Obama say to her husband? Obama, honey.
Yeah. I'm hitting the button. There it is. Alright,
Might want to use an item to restore your,
Yeah. And that means... Well, I can't do it because I used it on him, but... That's cool. Hurricane toss...
Yeah, you still want to do the run-through thing. You want to just do that real fast with Kubu.
Yeah. Oh.
And give his turn to Leaf, and then turn relay to Leaf, and then force up one of the just do a standard attack.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how many points do I have left? But not enough. Jesus. Alright, and then I want to use him to heal. Definitely hit the button. It's whatever, it's fine. Thank God. That was a lot. Shut up. You might have gotten a honey all over you, I guess. So how come the honey turns into monsters? That's weird. Like, imagine if you went into a molasses factory and half the time the workers are just fighting off molasses monsters.
Honestly, wouldn't
I,
be surprised.
I think I'd eat a lot less brown sugar. Is that made of molasses? I don't know what I'm
Well,
talking about.
brown sugar is made from sugar cane. It's just a lower
Different
stage.
kind of sugar cane.
It's just no, it's not a different kind. It's processed less.
Ah, like rice.
Yeah.
Brown rice. I don't. There's something made from molasses, but I don't know what it is. So I don't.
Molasses
Do I
comes
look like a?
molasses comes from trees.
Yeah. But then they
Caram-
make it into.
caramel, I think, is what you're thinking about, which is a waste product from refining sugar.
Oh. Whatever. I'm not like a fucking food agronomist or whatever.
You're you're not an you're not a you're not a foodie.
No. I have garbage diet is what my tastes are. I will happily eat the same thing every day. Oh, so when you heat up honey, it turns into monsters. Keep that in mind next time I have oatmeal. Yay, I wanted to ride the tram. Anytime I get to ride a train. We don't get a cutscene of, like, going through, huh? Okay. There it is. Then... Is it here I had to go next? Guess not. All right, they're in storage. Money processing. Storage. Yeah, do the same fucking thing now. Ooh. Okay. And I haven't healed. It's okay. I'm gonna... I need 5. Crap. Ooh. Numbing the Eater. That's alright, I'll just do it to her then. And then... Yeah. He does... this. And she's down. That's fine. And she just sort of goes, bonk. She's face down.
Is there like an inn or something nearby you can go rest at, or
I don't think so.
you're probably gonna want to use your items to heal up?
Yeah. Um, I guess he's a little more useful. Oh, pff, there's a plant. Whatever. I won't talk to you. Oh. Here's that's not what pipes are supposed to look like.
Yeah, methinks not. And you can drop down there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so... I was actually watching a video about front yard businesses.
Front yard businesses?
Yeah, so this would be the practice of building like an attachment in front of your suburban house, which acts as a space for a business to operate, like a cafe or a doctor or something.
All right.
Right, and this is one of your solutions of how to... it used to be a thing people did back in the olden times, and it's one potential solution to like diversifying. I think that's supposed to be up, but
I guess I just don't know why. Yeah, I want it to open up to be. There's a thing over there. I want to get it. I think I can do it this way.
all right.
Anyway, diversifying whatever to do whatever.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a way of essentially essentially trying to undo some of the evils of, you know,
Bad zoning.
well, bad zoning, but also suburban-oriented developments, right?
Oh, all right.
By having more, mixed use areas, right? Which is
That comes okay.
which is typically one of the big things that helps with the horrors of our cities.
Traffic congestion. I mean, I know so there's a lot of smog in the Northeast right now, and I know it's the fires in Canada, but the fucking pollution from everything else can't be helping. All right, so I gotta move this up somehow. See, if that goes down, this goes up, and I can get that thing.
Can you drop on that pot? No.
There's a way to... You can dash. How does he dash? I don't remember.
I think it's one of the you gotta hold the action button things.
Yeah, well, if I hold the action button, he just does this.
I think, and moving at the same time.
Yep. I think it was a different button. Keybind nits? Whatever. Anyway, so what about...
Well, I mean, it's a pretty good idea, right? Because in turning away from suburban development, right? It's not necessarily practical to just outright, plow over all these neighborhoods that are still have functional buildings. So, things like front yard businesses and turning yards into gardens and more useful land um, is a good stepping stone, right? It's low cost, low risk, and gets us closer to more sensible patterns of development.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also just completely illegal.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Sort of banking on the idea that that's something I can do when I get done with this. No. Ooh. Well, because you don't want people... Like, zoning isn't necessarily bad. Like, being able to control how and where things are built
Yeah.
is fine. It's just that it's like, this will only be housing. It's like, no, how about you have, like, shops and then housing on top, and then people can walk places?
Yeah.
It ruins the character of our city. Shut up, sprawl ruins the character of your city.
Right, and, like, it just reminds me of, like, you get right libertarians who complain about regulations, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, like, I agree, there are bad regulations. In fact, there are many bad regulations.
Of course there
are. Like city zoning laws, which are typically pretty bad. The problem is that they just really don't see the forest through the trees, right?
Right.
Right, it's like, right, it's not, like, from a government perspective, suburban-oriented development makes no sense, right?
No.
It makes it more expensive, right? It erodes your, right, because, as a municipal or local government, right, you want to maximize your tax base. You want to maximize the amount of economic activity that's going on in your territory. Right, and sprawl does not facilitate that, right? It in fact reduce it. It's right, because as a local government, right, you want to maximize effective land use, and suburbanization doesn't do that.
Not to mention, like, of all the ways you could develop a city, building lots of roads and having lots of sprawl is like the least maintenance efficient.
Yeah, so it erodes your tax base. It makes it more expensive to provide services to the population. Including transit services, access to social services, all sorts of shit, right? So there's no, like, government first direction where this makes sense.
Alt, huh? Can I do this? No. Alright, this is clearly a clue to this puzzle. The ADBP, that's the boomerang, right? Hold upgrade testing. And the halt stops it returns... Oh! It turns a bit behind its launch coordinates, so I can actually do, like... Oh, behind its launch coordinates. So I can do this. Yes! Alright, I know how to solve that other puzzle now. So I'm going to go do that. Before it, like, kicks me into a boss fight and I can't anymore. But yeah, I mean, I just can't fucking stand NIMBYs, man. There's this video I found, I forget, Business Insider? I don't know, somebody was, like, complaining basically about the Democratic Party in California. There's this neighborhood or something where they were like, the people there, like, were asked, what party do you vote for? What kinds of how would you vote on certain policies? And what is your opinion on certain ideas? And they would say, vote Democrat, and housing. We should build more housing, more affordable, dense housing in nice areas, so we can have, housing for the people who don't have houses. And but when push came to shove, and they're like, all right, so we'll buy up some of this crappy land over here, half a mile from your house, and build, not a crappy apartment building, but an apartment building. And they're like, no, we like our sprawly, low density, and then highly remunerative neighborhood the way it is. So, I fucking hate NIMBYs. And yeah, people complain about the YIMBYs, like, I guess, but I don't know.
Knock it into the other position and then sit. So no, you're gonna
No,
have to.
I need it this way to get up there.
Yeah.
And then I need to let it go back so it'll swap. Yeah,
I
this
mean,
way I can cross the bridge.
No,
oh no,
no,
you're right. It needs to be up.
Yeah, the bridge needs to be up first, right? You need to.
So it reset before. All right,
Yeah,
there we
now
go.
we go.
I was like, no, it's the way I left it. Like, no, it wasn't. Idiot. Ah, fuck you. I don't want to deal with this. Yeah, fuck off. I gotta go do that again, don't I?
Probably.
Oh, actually, hold on. Let me just do that. Oh no, I can't because I need to hold this thing. Whatever. I'll probably get hit again, because that would be hilarious. I wonder what it would take to actually make a boomerang, like, keep spinning. You'd need a motor, obviously. I mean, it wouldn't stay in one place, but it would be fun to figure out how to make that work. Boo-doo-doo, boo-doo-boo-boo. Yay! I get a thing, I don't know what it does.
Crystal berry.
It's a collectible. That's all I got. I can collect it. I'm sure they told me what it did and I just wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, pretty usual.
I
But
gotta complain about NIMBYs and government contracting.
well, I mean, the whole purpose of suburbanization is basically just to create a small landowning class that won't rebel against the interests of capital.
Well, it fucking works until those people all, like, I'm gonna retire and give your house to your children. Nope, gonna sell it to a fucking development agency so I have lots of money.
Yeah.
Even to give it to their children. What, your adult children who ideally have their own house?
Let's be real, who don't have their own house?
I mean, they don't, but... I mean, I just wonder how many, like, parents' homes end up, when they die or whatever, end up as either rental property or just get sold anyway. That's... Alright. Ooga chaka, ooga, ooga. Anyway. Aww. Big horrible honey monster. God, your fucking health and safety standards are just gross. I think I want to do an ice coffin.
Actually, I think you want the... Oh, okay. Never mind.
Want the what now?
I was going to say you want the ice coffin to be your last attack of the round.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, it can still get hit, I think. And I'm not sure
but
if
it'll break the ice. It'll break the ice. Yeah.
Oh, whatever. That's fine. I think it does more damage when it breaks. So I'm okay with that.
Do you have any good single target skills?
I do, actually. It's, this one. This one or this one. Let's do this one. Wow, and I blocked it. Let's see. What was the point? Okay, whatever. Do you have any good skills?
Heavy strike.
Yeah. Still only does 4.
And then ice coffin as your last.
Yeah. Oh, great. You... Can't do anything. Yeah, next level I'm taking more, special points or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
TP. Wow. I think I blocked it.
Yeah, you did. It still did enough damage to,
Yeah. Actually, I probably should have had Leaf do it because he sucks, but whatever. He sucks against this guy. Yeah, this game doesn't need a whole lot of strategy.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if there are any JRPGs that, like, oh, it's them! JRPGs that have, like, a lot of strategy built into that kind of thing.
I mean, there are. I mean, like, Lisa the Painful actually has a pretty well-developed combat system, where it's pretty reliant on manipulating status effects.
Oh, okay. Everybody in this universe is a dick. Well, everybody we seem to meet anyway. Except the cool people. But there's like 5. They're dicks, that one bee is a dick. Queen's a dick. Not the queen bee, the other queen.
The Ant Queen.
Oh. He said a nice thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine.
I'm suddenly reminded that they're making more of Totally Spies.
Oh, God. I'm making more Phineas and Ferb. Which I don't know. I guess I like it. I mean, actually, I very much like Phineas and Ferb, but I don't know. Do they need more?
Only the last sequel loses money.
True. It is a very, like, positive, upbeat kind of show. Which, it's one of those shows where, like, there's enough in it that if you're an older audience, you can still have fun with it. It's a well-done show. And Dan Povenmire is apparently a really cool guy. I don't know anything... I mean, I'm not saying Swampy Marsh isn't, but he's not on YouTube as much, I guess. I mean, more of a good thing is not necessarily bad. It's just there's so many horrible remakes. I was talking when you were gone for a minute. Did you ever see the movie White Men Can't Jump?
No,
The
I don't
80s
think so.
or whatever. Yeah, so it's this comedy movie. I don't remember. I watched it once. It's about basketball, sort of, and they remade it, like recently. But I'm just why? Of all the movies to remake, it's like we said. I don't want a live action remake of a movie that I love. I want, or that did really well. I want a live action remake of like Treasure Planet, right?
Mm-hmm.
That'd be awesome. I gotta watch Treasure Planet again. That movie was fucking great. Oh, okay, I know where this goes. Seriously? I'm pushing all the buttons. Oh, hold on. Oh, shit. That doesn't look good. Oh! Does that always happen, or was that gonna die anyway?
I don't know. That was the first time I've seen it do that.
Okay, one hit and he goes down, and then they just go to leaf to bring him back up again. And then Kabu. And then...
Late?
Yeah, turn me to leaf again. I think I don't know if I mentioned this. I think Kabu is a Japanese reference to,
Yeah, it's a...
beetle?
Yes, we've been over this.
Yeah, okay, good.
Okay.
The only reason I know that is because of Digimon.
I mean, that's also true in Pokemon.
Oh yeah, Kabuto, yeah, that's right. uh... Yeah, you know what? I think Vi made the right decision. Oh. Turns out this whole chapter is an allegory for the Chernobyl incident. Oh. Wait. Yeah, fuck off. What happens if I go down here? Can I go down here? No. And I can't jump. Yep, come over here. Come over here. Come over here, come on. No. Go down there. Go down there. There we go. What? Oh, am I too wide to get... Nope. There we go. We'll release the deadly neurotoxin. Anywhere, anytime. I led a neglected childhood. Who cares? She's a coward. You were cool for like a second. It definitely involves holding a button. What button? Oh, it's the artifact, that's right. If you design things right, form and function are the same. That is way too many significant digits to be a valid number.
You know, it's projecting false confidence through absurd accuracy.
Mm-hmm. Like, how many data points did you have to manipulate to get a 6 significant digit number like that?
I mean, once you get less than 1,000th of a percent, you typically just stop counting.
Depending on the
Depending on the
application.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't, like, okay, some, like, figuring out the Higgs boson exists is more, it's like 10 to the 7th or 8th or something like that, which is fine. Or 10 to the negative 7th or 8th, rather. If not more. But other than that, I mean, they had to build a giant fucking particle collider to get that one working. Okay. Yeah, just do it. Yeah. Right. I like this guitar style riff. B33.
They are B bops.
Ooh, that's interesting. Beat bop a rebop. A rhubarb pie.
Frigid
nice
coffin.
one. Oh yeah, okay. Oh. It's flying, I guess. There we go. Mom's little baby loves rhubarb, rhubarb, bee-bop-a-ree bop, a rhubarb pie. Man, I miss Prairie Home Companion.
It's spawning ads.
Oh, come here, cat. No, that's my... It's my mouse. Yes, you're very cute. Yes, go away. Go over there.
Just reminds
It's
me.
not food time right now.
Reminds me of that oil painting titled "Witness My Act Indeed," which is a painting of a cat knocking over a bottle of ink.
It's good to know cats haven't changed in, 7,000 years or whatever. How long I've been worshipping cats?
Yeah, they haven't been. They're not too different from their wild counterparts. African wildcats are basically just look like big tabby cats.
Yes. Cool. That's cool.
Heartseed?
I guess. Alright, you... Guess. Okay, that didn't make a difference. I wonder if anybody's done a real guitar cover of this boss music, because it's great. Oh. Fine. Nice. Let's see.
Hit it with a heavy strike or something.
Yeah. I think we're gonna actually want some... Do I have anything to do? No. Grant you an extra turn next turn. Yeah, that might be necessary.
Give it to V, since V's the only one that can consistently hit him.
Yep.
Start with V and attack the one in the front to ground.
If I use both, I can ground this one,
Yeah.
and then hit it with Kabu.
Yeah. Well, Kabu can only hit the one in the front rank.
Is that true always? I think
Yeah.
I can only hit the one with grounded.
They have to be grounded and in the front rank.
Alright. Oh, cool. Nice. Oh, that's gonna be fun. Alright. Oh, okay, well that did nothing. Oh cool, he's down. I have no revival items. That's awesome, and he can do not.
Does
It's this.
nothing. Right, might as
I
well
think it's just this.
do turn relay then.
See, oh, she always do. And then she's gonna get right back up again. All right. Wait. Oh. Up and down and what? Up infinity, down infinity. That's okay. I guess I'll turn relay. Nope, I'm out.
Yeah.
And the tale was never finished.
Is that the first game over we got?
Yep. Change loadout and retry? What does that mean?
I think retry might put you right back at the start of the battle.
I don't think I want that. I think I want to try and change my loadout.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. This is what they mean by changing loadout. Oh, God, that's right. No, that's not actually what I want then. Okay. That's annoying. But I guess I'll...
I mean,
Okay, so what I want is I want to get it down. It takes 2 hits to get it down. Leave is not very useful without special attacks. So I think what I'm going to do is this. Turn relay to Vi. Do Vi twice, and then hit it with Kabu.
Yeah.
Even though the second attack for Vi never does any damage. Hell yeah. And then we're going to do...
Skills.
I think I actually want to keep the skills because I can use Vi's healing. I don't think it does a whole lot more damage anyway, otherwise. Cool. Let's do the same thing. Turn reload to Vi, swap to Vi. Why are you telling me how many... Whatever. I want to attack that tiny bee thing because it's annoying, but I don't want to waste too many attacks on it. I don't think Leaf can attack it by itself. No. Only Vi can. So I'm going to use... I'm going to use Leaf's special to attack the big thing, and then Vi can take care of the little dude. Because then it does more damage and it gets it down to the ground. Special. Ooh, Icefall. Do Icefall on both of them. That's good. That's what I'll do. Okay. Didn't hit it right, I guess. That's some damage. And Vi's gonna get hit in one more turn. Alrighty. Does he have any specials that'll do anything? I guess aims for 100, leaves them attack for 1 turn. Ooh. Yeah. And then... Alright, I thought it might do 1 damage. Plonk. Excellent. Well done. Alright. Back to the original strategy. Cool. Oh, I did miss that one. That's fair. Wish that falling did some damage. That's gonna get me every time. Alright. He can shield the whole party. It takes like 7. And she can do Secret Stash. He...
You should still have a hard nut.
No, do I have the hard nut?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. But it needs two strikes, and it'll just reset after 1. And, oh, I know what I can do. Well, there's no point in doing that, though, because then I just won't be able to attack it.
Yeah.
I think I'll... Does Do Nothing... I think Do Nothing might raise its defense, right? What's the point of a Do Nothing otherwise?
I don't know.
Actually, I can do 1, I guess. Okay, it just didn't do anything. Fine. Cool. Secret Stash. Here's poison. Would Tornado Toss down the drone immediately? No. Well, yes. But do no damage, because there's no justice. Actually, hold on. Do I have... Kabu's going to be paralyzed, so... Okay, I can do Frigid Coffin. Can't block. Great. It got me again, god damn it. I think I'm gonna lose this one too.
Yeah, I think you might need to level up once and then buy a bunch of items.
Yeah, if I can.
You should just be able to go back to your last save point.
Well, I can go back to the last save point, but I don't know if I can buy any items. Ha! That was cool.
There's an item vendor in the hive.
Is there?
Yeah. I distinctly remember there being one.
Die, 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 die. Ah, fuck. Alright. I definitely hit the button in that time. Come on.
Don't hit it too fast.
I guess not.
Reload last save. Okay, there you go.
Okay, I can't leave. Oh, you're right. There's an item vendor down here. Shock Bear restores 7 HP. At a price, which means you're probably numbed. Restores 5 HP and 10 TP. Brain Freeze. 8 TP. 9 HP. 5 HP. Alright, hold on. Alright, let me... How many do I have? I can hold 13 in my inventory? Okay. And 9. How many do I have? 7? Alright, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, whatever.
Room in your inventory to take stuff out.
Yeah, I wondered if it would show me what I had anyway. I think it's just hard seeds.
And you might want to go grind a level.
Oh, yeah. I'm like one fight away. Oh, this isn't where I wanted to be. God. This is where I wanted to be. Does leveling up actually level up my stats at all? Or is it exclusively like a HP thing?
Ah, there we go. My mic got disconnected. Yes, I believe your stats do go up when you level up.
Okay.
At the very least, you can get more of your special move attacks.
Cool. I hate this goddamn hive. Teamwork.
Yeah, 6 TP. Teamwork points.
Filer needle toss. That's nice. Let's go talk to that thing. Oh, right.
You need to flick the switch.
Flick something. Hell yeah. Let's do it. God damn it, I still can't figure out what that fucking... Is it this? No. That was the wrong place to go. Whatever.
What evs?
This whole place is extremely inefficient. Alright, what order do I want to be in?
Taboo's the toughest, so probably up front.
Yeah. I'm just going to skip through this. Alright, can't just skip through it.
Yeah, at least it's not Metal Gear Solid with, 40-minute unskippable cutscenes and shit.
Metal Gear Solid 4 was the worst for that. It's a 12-hour game with 6 hours of cutscenes.
I think you're going to want to use your ice attack on V. Sorry, Leaf uses ice attack, and then V hits him with the, so Ice Fall, which will do at least some damage. Then V will do some damage with the regular attack, and then Kabu can...
I think the second attack just always does 0. Oh, no, does 1.
No, your attack power goes down as more relay turns you take, right?
Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I've said it before, but, actually being the one playing games on a Let's Play really does give me sympathy for Aaron Hansen. Why don't you pay attention? 'Cause it's hard. I don't even feel the silence the way they do.
One day, Dan Avidan's gonna be like, "Why aren't you paying attention?" And Aaron's just gonna fucking break down crying, just like, it's hard.
Yeah. It is.
It's hard. I've been doing this for years and I can't get any better.
Well, Christmas is bad at video games. It's I mean, I am, but shut up.
So Leaf, Icefall, V, Boomerang.
Yeah. Takes 4 every time.
V.
And then dash?
Sure, yeah, might as well.
Alright, assuming the position. Yeah, that was good.
Okay, now
Nice.
with Leaf, do you have a hard seed still?
Should have one.
Yeah, so hard seed, then
Bonk.
attack with V.
Bonk.
See, that was a lot more damage efficient.
Was.
So have Kabu use items. Alright, so now you need to restore your TP so you can get back.
Yeah. Get back to the pattern. Yeah, restores 8 TP.
And then do that again. So you're back.
Well, yeah, I guess it'll be a little bit. Kabu won't be able to.
Won't be able to
Oh,
hit.
you want me to do the? You want me to do the item again?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then just whack them.
Oh, 2 HP. That's right, because its defense is down.
Alright, now we return to the pattern.
The pattern.
So...
it's... this. Ooh. Ooh. Just go straight to Kabu, then. Ooh, 5! And 2. Ooh. Okay.
Want to do a round of healing?
I guess I ought to.
Just use your items.
Let's do Leaf first, just in case something happens.
Alright, back to the pattern.
A terror.
Then V. And copy.
Oh, just die already! Alright, because whoever's in the back gets extra defense.
Yeah.
That's why I have a badge that does that. Or medal, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, damn. Come on. How many more times can I do this? This is the last time before I have to refill. Thank God! Alright, we are done with that piece of crap. Nice Foley. Yeah, you and me both. Okay.
As you leave the tree, you see off in the distance the hive just explode.
Alternately, if they could make one of those, why didn't we just have them make one, and then we take that one instead of going through all this? Maybe the one they made only does core stuff, and this one also does other stuff.
The ancient key.
Was the ancient lock? I don't know why it's French all of a sudden. End of chapter 3. To be vivisected? No thanks. Achievement unlocked. Probably finished chapter 3.
Mm-hmm. I mean, technically, every member of the hive except the queen is her sister. So
True.
still
Wait.
trying to figure.
Ah, I figured it out. It's a double tap. Damn right we are. Did I pass it? Oh, it's the art gallery.
Want to hear a hot take?
Sure.
Classical music is overrated.
By that, do you mean classical music as in anything that plays on NPR, or the classical period of music as opposed to the romantic period of music?
Your general sort of aristocratic symphonic music, Beethoven, Bach, etc.
I mean, that is a pretty hot take, because that's an extremely varied... Like, there's no just one piece of... I mean, on the one hand, you've got shit like, Beethoven's Ninth or whatever, which, frankly, is amazing, right?
Yeah.
If overplayed, I get it. On the other hand, you have stuff like the Moldau by Smetana, I think it's called, is who he is, and that is just I love that piece.
Hmm.
It's supposed to be evocative of going down the river that shares its name, and it really is, and it's amazing. You got Strauss Jr. with the classic waltz that's in 2001: A Space Odyssey. Um, I don't know, Holst. Does that really count? The planets. There's usually something to like. Fucking Sen. Is that how you pronounce that? I don't know how to pronounce things. Doing the Danse Macabre. Um,
Hmm.
Fuck, who did Hungarian dance? Can't remember the name.
There's of course always I don't know if it falls into the tradition, but March of the Gladiators, is supposed to be a series, which is supposed to be serious, and then over cultural evolution is turned into a joke song.
Yeah, about circuses. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's hard. It's like saying movies are overrated. Like which ones? It's a very, very broad way. I mean, I don't know. It's like people ask me, "What kind of music do you listen to?" I'm like, "What?" I mean, all of it, almost all of it.
I listen to metal and new metal and black metal and death
Mhm.
metal and psychedelic
Power metal,
metal and
melodic metal,
yeah,
yeah,
non-melodic metal.
heavy metal, all the metals. I listen to folk and I listen to filk and I listen to power metal, which is just filk but fast. Um,
I don't know. I think one of the central axes of my musical taste is probably They Might Be Giants, even though I don't actually listen to them that much.
I don't know a whole lot about They Might Be Giants. Some of them are like big popular pieces, but I like them.
Hmm. They got a lot of good stuff. You say stuff is way to go away. You,
Build a little bird cage in my soul. Birdhouse, excuse me. I'm
yeah.
reading this. Kind of what all right. Well, she expressed that anxiety through hostility, which isn't really a great way to get people to do what you want. It's much easier to be honest,
Who needs honesty when you can just be an obtuse dick to people?
I guess. Why say, I'm concerned about your choice of career because of its inherent danger, when you can say you're weak and cowardly and stupid, and there's no possible way you could defy my instructions for you in a desperate bid to prove me wrong. Oh, good. Oh, good. Okay, I don't really want to do that. Wait. Wait. Look at that. That metal looks like a thing.
Can you talk to either of the professors about it?
No, I don't think so. Then if I talk to this one. Oh. Yeah, that's what I thought. Fucking boss fights.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the... Was it the Colosseum in, Hollow Knight?
Yeah. The Colosseum of Fools.
I did the first two because I wanted to get the, metal to upgrade my sword.
Yeah.
Or the nail.
Yeah, the last bout in the Colosseum of Fools is purely optional.
Yeah.
So here's the beginning of a Star Trek episode for you. At least a Star Trek sort of idea, right? Right, so there's like a... Right, so, there's a Starfleet starship, somewhere out there on the edge of space, right? They got a holodeck, and there's a guy in the holodeck, and something happens to the ship, right? It gets, wrecked or something through an anomaly or whatever the fuck, right? And the rest of the crew is dead, except for one guy in the holodeck, and he basically doesn't realize that he's still in the holodeck, right? And he's going through living out the holodeck simulation of being a Starfleet officer for ages.
Did you ever see Love and Robots or whatever it's called
No.
on Netflix? Okay, so it would be a spoiler then to tell you about one of the episodes. But yeah, so well, okay, so spoiler alert for this one episode. So this guy, he's like a space trucker basically, and he takes this ship through like a faster than light portal.
Mm-hmm.
Which it's not like an anomaly, everybody uses these things. But there's every now and then a ship just goes missing, and they're like, oh, what happened? Well, it'll be fine. And he goes through the portal, and of course his ship goes missing, but he wakes up, and he's like, oh, I'm in the place I'm supposed to go to, but things are weird here, and they won't let me leave, and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, it turns out that actually the ships that go missing, crash into basically, a gigantic space creature, which grabs holds onto their physical forms and plugs into their brains and gives them reads their minds and gives them a simulation of life. And if they leave, nobody's coming to get them, so they're just going to die in the vacuum of space, or they can live out the rest of their lives in this simulation. Right? It's one of those kinds of stories. So that would be what you would do here. You'd start off in the holodeck, and things are a little weird, and eventually he realizes what's happened, and it turns out he's just going to have to live out the rest of his life in this simulation until basically the power fails and he dies. Yeah. And then at the very end, it's revealed that all of this is from the computer logs, and Picard and the others or whoever are reviewing them in their own holodeck.
Yeah,
that's a great episode, actually.
We should write it.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm sure you've seen Star Trek fan episodes. They will get actors like fucking George Takei does them all the time. He's used to.
Yeah, that'd be a pretty good episode. You wouldn't even have to buy a lot of sets for it, right? Because it's mostly just on the starship anyway.
Yeah. You'd need the actors to come in, and maybe you'd have the actors play different roles because the ship only, the data banks were damaged, and there's only a limited amount of information in them. It'd be cool. And if he ever turns it off, he just suffocates in space, and so he just decides to live in the fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that'd be awesome. Actually, it'd be a great episode.
Yeah, so you could have it like so, like you start out with the character who's in the holodeck, right? And it's like years and right. So he's already years into the
Right.
holodeck simulation, and right, and he's just thinking about it. It's like my life just I used to be like a real sort of I used to really just get the short end of the stick all the time until like just that one time we were flying through that weird part of space, Ace, and things got jostled around. What the fuck was up with that?
Yeah.
Eh,
I mean, they'll show that,
yeah,
right? Maybe he'll flash back to that or something, but it will be not revealed to the audience that like during that transition, like he thinks like, oh, I got rescued from that and I'm back in Starfleet headquarters and I'm having this great life and oh, commend you for help surviving this and that gets me attention and blah blah blah. But really, he never got out of there.
yeah,
And it wouldn't be the most original plot ever, but it would be a good episode.
yeah. Yeah, and then at like some point he discovers, right, he like figures out that the world's a simulation and he manages to like open the door of the holodeck and he just sees out to the rest of the ship. It's just totally destroyed and desiccated bodies and that sort of stuff, and it's like, well, time to go back to fantasy.
Yeah. And like he asks the ship's computer, why didn't you tell me? And it's like, you would be happier this way.
Yeah. One of the only toys my cat likes is the laser pointer.
It's a good toy. They're really not a dysfunctional trio. They actually quite support each other very well. Golden Settlement. Alright, and where's the... It's back in the village. Oh, right. Okay, so... Dude, red paint, what is this?
Have you tried knocking that door down with your charge?
Ooh. No dice. That's for cooking. It's supposed to be red paint here. Yeah, up her own ass, that's where. Where do I buy the songs again? Oh. Hell yeah. Play the Mecha Bee Destroyer Blast Lord. Hell yeah. Does it persist between screens? No. Oh well. I guess everybody knows who Jean is. Oh god, it's a sequence fetch quest. Fine. What do you do?
I exist just to suffer.
Ooh. He seems very nice about it. Oh, that's the old queen. Oh, they're jacks.
Yeah, they're jumping jacks. Well, not jumping jacks, but they're jacks.
They're
They're jacks.
the game
and
of jacks.
Yeah, they're for. Yeah, I know. The game of jacks and the ball.
Yeah. It's
Which
like, what's the name of the game with the jacks and the ball? Oh, it's jacks.
It's jacks. It occurs to me that there are probably lots of children nowadays who have no idea what the fuck that is.
I think you bounce the ball and then you grab as many jacks as you can before the ball hits the ground again.
Correct.
Because this is what happened before the age of newspapers and anything. Anything to be entertaining.
I mean, this is before you could just hand a kid a tablet and you can give him Wojak education.
Wojak.
I mean, there's a Soy Jack channel for kids, you know.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, it's terrible. There's like this whole awful side of YouTube, which is just, you know, this terribly made children's sort of entertainment. And it's just all awful and deeply disturbing.
It's because you just put it on repeat for 1,000 hours. Is that where the Finger family comes from?
I don't know. Folding Ideas actually had a good video on the subject, and how YouTube kind of allows them to go under the radar with this because it's an easy way to scam advertisers out of their money.
Yeah. Oh right, he has a. I have a thing that lets me sleep whenever I want, I guess.
Also, something was pointed out to me that I think actually makes a lot of sense, right? So, right, there's lots of social media websites YouTube, Twitter, etc., right, which don't make any money. In fact, lots of other like tech ventures like Uber and whatnot, which don't actually make any money, right? And basically, all of them were started in the wake of the 2008 financial crash, when interest rates were basically zero. So they could essentially borrow tons and tons of capital to start up these businesses with, the vague promise of one day becoming profitable. And then the problem sets in that for a lot of these ventures, their business model just doesn't make any sense. And now that interest rates are being jacked up, mostly in an effort just to punish poor people, those businesses now no longer can sustain their unrealistic business model, and that's why they're all sort of going through these weird decision changes and trying to purge old content and try to leverage new monetary forms.
That's why Facebook fired 20,000 people or whatever, huh?
Yeah, and Reddit is now going to be essentially charging third-party apps that make Reddit more usable, to such a degree that basically they can't operate at all. YouTube is going to be purging all their videos, all the channels on the site that are more than 2 years old. They're also planning to prevent you using ad block on YouTube in the future.
I'm just not going to use YouTube then.
Yeah, or use a proxy site, right? Which
right, yeah.
Yeah, so that's potentially the big reason why all this stuff is happening. Is basically they finally got to start paying out, and they never managed to find a business model that made any of these things make sense as an actual business.
So you mean the heavy influence of finance capital in the modern capitalist system just wastes a huge amount of money and doesn't actually produce anything better?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, who saw that coming?
But also it created venues, but also it created websites that provide services which aren't necessarily realistically sustainable, right? Like YouTube's business model is frankly ridiculous, right?
It feels like it should make sense, it's television, show some ads, but it just doesn't.
Yeah. Well, the problem here is that internet ads make way, way, way less money than ads in any other space.
Makes sense.
There's several reasons for that, but one of the reasons is that marketers can prove how ineffective their ads are on websites, right? The effectiveness of YouTube ads is miserably low. Like 1 in 1,000 ads are ever actually clicked on intentionally.
Wow, I'm surprised it's that high.
Yeah, and most clicks on ads on YouTube are accidents. So advertising just isn't effective, right? Which means, as an advertiser, you don't want to spend a whole bunch of money on ads, right? And it's things also like, do you know how much money Reddit makes off of, what the average amount of money a Reddit makes off of a user per month?
No, I don't.
12 cents.
And yet they do everything possible to drive users away.
Yeah, that's not right. That's gross, not net.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Reddit grosses 12 cents per user per month. Right? I'm sure there's an exponential curve somewhere in there where there's a small set of users that are especially profitable, and a large number
whales
aren't. Yeah.
There are probably people who.
Here's some Reddit gold. Right, but they make nothing off of their user base. right? And YouTube is having to store and stream a huge amount of data at very high speeds.
Yeah, so high cost, low revenue.
Yeah. And trying to leverage more ads just drives your user base away, right? So there's just no way of making this work, realistically. And then you kind of have this idea of a subscription model of like YouTube Red, or whatever, where basically, you're right. It's not providing any service to you that's any better than just using an ad block, really.
Right. Pay for an ad block.
Yeah. So, and I mean, yeah, things like, like even storing like this stream on YouTube or allowing it for broadcast doesn't make any financial sense, right? This is making no money for YouTube.
It's not making any money for us either.
I mean, that is also true. But it is imposing a cost on YouTube, which is why I'm doing it, of course.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, good. That's enough to do it for me.
We're costing a mega corporation a tiny amount of money by playing stupid video games.
It's like a hangnail. Giant.
Yeah, so a lot of these websites just have totally unsustainable business models, and their attempts to make them more profitable basically just totally destroy their usability.
So eventually, sooner rather than later, I hope, the bottom will just fall out of this unsustainable business model and effectively destroy the internet.
Yeah, probably.
I'm okay with that. I don't like the internet, really. I mean, so my vision of the internet is essentially a giant library, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You want to publish something, publish it on the internet, and everybody can download it. That's fine. You want to send someone an email, that's fine. I think banking is all that. That's all that kind of stuff is great. Services that people actually need. Social media isn't necessary.
Mm-hmm.
I do get the idea of like a forum. But,
yeah.
I don't know, it used to be pretty easy to run your own really basic forum for whatever silly topic you wanted.
Yeah.
I mean, we did it when I was in high school, college.
Back when you could have your own GeoCities website.
Yeah, not a whole lot long after that, actually.
And to Angel Fire.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, so...
Where's the boat? There's a boat somewhere.
Admittedly, right, you have the thing of, there's lots of businesses which technically, like, need a website, but they don't need it to really do anything, right? Like, it's basically like an entry in a phone book, right? It's, this business exists, here are our services, here's our location, here's how to contact us.
Right. Standardized. Like in my vision, there's, like, maybe 10 or 20, like, common websites, and everything else is just user constructed on their own terms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
but I mean, I don't really use the internet much. I mean, I use it for, like, I should say, I don't use it widely. I use it for, like, half a dozen things.
Yeah. Well, I think it might... I mean, I think things might... like, under a more ideal universe, right, you'd basically have, like, non-profit foundations maintaining, like, the substructure of the internet, and then you have, user-created and moderated communities sitting on top of that.
Right.
Because basically the profits, the incentives to make things profitable also make them worthless to interact with.
Yep, that's just broadly true.
Especially true for social media, right? Because the things that drive engagement also make them all just totally miserable places to be. Be that, the eternal flame war that is, Twitter, or, the, 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 or, all of the social anxiety that's produced by fucking Instagram, or, so on.
Ooh, there's a bank. I'm reminded of that bit in Hollow Knight where there is a bank,
Yeah.
and you put enough money in it for all the listeners who haven't played the game. You put enough money in there, and spoiler alert, she eventually just steals all your shit. But then later in the game, you can find out where she is in like one of the hot springs. You just beat the shit out of her and you get all your money back. It's great.
Yeah, I love the bit when you walk up to the empty stall and it just falls over because it's cardboard cut out.
Yeah, it's great.
I mean, technically,
Ooh.
if you know what the maximum amount she'll store is, you can always keep her just below that amount and use her as a bank that way.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever. 50 for a new account's a lot. Cool.
I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be back in a second.
Okay. Okay, that's not a thing. Oh, come on. Tell me that's not what they're supposed to do here. There we go. Ooh. That's awesome. I have to put that in right now. I have 0 points. That's awesome. Accidentally run into a whole lot of side quests here. Cool. I don't particularly want to do that right now. Okay. It's you. Where's this frickin'... There's supposed to be a boat somewhere. Oh, I looped back around. Okay, fine. You know what? I'm gonna visit the inn, actually. I like any game soundtrack with the ukulele. Banjo-Kazooie, this. I'm sure there's others I just can't think of. Where's the boat? There's people there before. Metal Lake. Oh, I was gonna actually bring something back to the library. Because I have two things to bring back to the library. Oh, come on. Sorry, snail. How does everybody else keep up? It's like Sonic the Hedgehog. Maybe they're just in his backdraft. Is that what that is? Oh. Biblioteca. Wow. Neat. I didn't read any of these side quests I picked up. This is an excellent point. That's why I watch isekai anime sometimes. It's just... You don't have to think about them. Watch enough G-Witch. I gotta watch a couple episodes of I Got a Superpower in the Other World, or whatever it's called. I love a library. I never get anything out of the library because I'm lazy and I never read anything. And I just love the idea of a house of knowledge. Where it's all there for free. There was something else I was going to do down here. Whatever. Go do this thing. Yeah, let's do it. It's not like it's gonna take 3 hours, is there? Be delayed? They delay a king? Whatever. Smiles and hospitality. Did I do a fight?
OMG, is this a Paper Mario reference?
It might be. Yep, I have to do a fight. Cool. So I picked up a badge that lets me, or a medal that lets me automatically defeat weak enemies in the field.
Yeah.
I don't know if it gives me XP for it, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, get fucked, Acorn.
Yeah. So, like, one thing here is, right, like Discord, the app we're actually using, I think is currently in a state where it basically does all the things I wanted to do.
I mean, it does way more than I want it to do, frankly. Like, I don't run any servers, so I don't know, but to me, it's just the new AOL Instant Messenger.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's good about it, right?
Yeah.
It's mostly a new instant messenger that also does, you know, voice calls, little bit of streaming, and has some slight forum-y aspects to it, right?
Yeah.
it's like forums, AOL, Instant Messenger, and Skype wrapped into one, right?
Yeah.
And it does that pretty well. And I'm not a moderator on some big server or something, but for like my use cases, right, it basically does everything I want, right? There's like a couple things that could be better, like discovering, like finding new servers is a pain in the ass if you don't know exactly what you're looking for.
Can you actually search them in Discord? I've
Uh,
only ever seen like, here's our website, join our server.
there's a website called Disboard, which allows you to do some searching, but it's not that great.
Third party?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
But so being able to discover public servers is more difficult than it really ought to be. If a server has too many channels, it can get really cluttered. Discord, occasionally just has an aneurysm and crashes, or gets in that
Also,
like repetitive update thing.
Kabu just now hit the guy in the second rank, so he can do that. So, I don't know, it seems to me, and I'm sure this is late stage capitalism, finance capital, blah, 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 that at a certain point it just became not a thing to solve problems.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, putting like a phone book online is great, right? Don't need to print a phone book. I can just go on there on my computer, and having like a phone that connects to like an online encyclopedia and a phone book and things like that is fine. I'm not saying those aren't useful, but they're essentially just like slight improvements on existing things, and now we just have all this crap that doesn't solve a problem. It's the tech bro approach, right? Take something that exists, make it worse, call it a pod, and get lots of money from people who don't understand how technology works.
Here's our linear transport pod. Watch as it goes on these. Watch as it travels along these big lines of this iron alloy.
Right.
It goes chugga chugga woo woo.
I mean, okay, look. I know why we moved away from steam engines, but I'm also sad because God, those things are beautiful.
Yeah, but
like mechanically, ugh.
But it's like, hey, let's make a train but worse.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I should get points for these.
But yeah, Discord's basically in a state where I'm basically satisfied with it. Right. Right. There is a paid option, but that basically is just aesthetic, right? You can use like custom emotes and have like an animated avatar or whatever, right? But it's very minor stuff. So it's basically exactly what I want it to be at the moment, which is why I'm just waiting for it to get all fucked up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's no way that they could continue to receive outside funding if that's how it works. I don't know. Yeah. There's no way to like get investors or anything if you're just going to be like, we have a good product, it just needs to be improved slightly in some cases, tweaked, and just generally maintained.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where's your growth potential?
We serve an economic niche well, and we make a consistent profit off of it.
Yeah. It's like, what's the growth potential of the United States Postal Service? It does a job. Mm-hmm. That's the point of the thing. Some things just do things.
Well,
what's the growth potential of screwdrivers?
Well, businessmen also don't understand niche protection, right?
Niche protection.
Right. If you fill an economic... So there's different, like, economic niches, right? It's like ecological, right?
Uh-huh.
So, like, in ecology, right, Darwin's finches or whatever, right? It's typically much easier to diversify into a specific niche than it is to compete for a niche that's already occupied.
I was thinking about that earlier.
Right. So it's best to find a niche that isn't currently occupied and then monopolize that niche. Right.
Yeah. It's amazing. I can't remember the context. I was thinking about that earlier. In the context of animals.
Yeah.
How that's the point of, like, the idea of, like, capitalism loves competition. It's like, why? Why would you love competition? That's stupid. It's irrational.
Yeah, well, yeah, because animals typically evolve, don't necessarily, well, they do sometimes compete in specific niches, right? The typical tendency is to diversify into other niches if they're available, right?
Well, that's the cybernetic application to evolution. Why compete? Just split.
Yeah. Um, right, and the same is that true for most, business situations, right? Do you serve, right, so long as you're serving a niche that will continue to exist, right? Why, right, like, why compete with there's some other niche if you don't have to, right? So, let me think, right? So, let's say you're some game company and you make, like, RTS games, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, Fortnite comes along, and the business guys are like, well, battle royale shooters are where it's at, so we're gonna have to scrap all this RTS business and go make battle royale shooters.
Right.
Right. So instead of serving your niche and making a consistent profit, you're going to compete with a niche that's already filled, in which you don't have any expertise that would help you compete for that niche, and inevitably get fucked over.
Yeah. I mean, eventually, the tendency of the rate of profit to fall will mean that, even if companies did do this, they're going to start competing for, Walmart will start making video games because there's no more sources of growth than to start eating other niches. But, maybe we're already there, but you're right, it doesn't seem very rational.
Well, I mean, it's like take From Software. Like, From Software has been basically making the same dark fantasy action adventure game for the past 30 years.
Yeah, in various incarnations.
Yeah.
Or giant robot fighting games.
Yeah, I didn't want to distract you too much, but it's they make the dark fantasy action RPG. They make the dystopian robot game, and they make a ninja game, and that's basically it. And then that's basically, at various iterations of those three ideas are their entire game catalog, and they're very good at it, right? And they serve as very particular niche in the hobby, right? Which is why inevitably someone's going to come along and be like, you know what, this game needs gotcha mechanics. Elden Ring with loot boxes.
Oh my god.
Right.
I can't imagine.
And then...
I can't imagine. It would be horrible.
Yeah. So they'll fail to leverage the talent they do have, leverage it into something they're not good at, try to make money doing that, and in the process sully their reputation. Right?
Yep.
And it's really just a matter of time before some smart-ass business guy comes up with that idea. Now, admittedly, right, there are some cases where you really have to diversify out of a niche because your current niche is going extinct, right? Blockbuster. Kodak, Blockbuster, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Where the economic field you service is becoming obsolete for whatever reason. And there are also some cases where a niche is being filled, but it's being filled very, very poorly. For video game example, right? PUBG was the first, big battle royale shooter, but it wasn't nearly as polished in its aesthetics and its ease of play as, Fortnite.
Wasn't PUBG done by one guy or a small team, and then Fortnite was done by fucking Epic?
Yeah. Basically, right? So Epic could effectively compete for that niche because the current dominance species in that niche wasn't very robust.
Powerful. Yeah. Well, I mean, you make the Unreal Engine, and you decide you want to take over a relatively niche market area, then you can just do that.
Hmm.
There's an article I read, I have it somewhere, that basically explains the economics of non-choice. And by that I mean like, let's take the South Park example of the local coffee shop versus the big international chain.
Hmm.
The point of the South Park episode, right, is to make the point that to them, because they're sort of libertarians, uh, big corporations become big and popular and powerful because they satisfy the consumer more than the local places do. Otherwise, people would just shop at the local places. But this article makes the point that basically, because for whatever reason, a large corporation becomes large. Like maybe it started by satisfying that, or maybe some rich person bought it and was able to muscle out the competition, or whatever reason. If you have Starbucks and mom and pop's coffee, then even if some portion of the population, even a majority of the population, can say, I want to go to mom and pop's coffee, and the rest of the population just kind of doesn't have to care one way or the other, right? They would be satisfied if they're only mom and pop's coffee, and they would be satisfied if they're only Starbucks. But because Starbucks can produce larger margins, right? It can get coffee a lot cheaper and all that kind of stuff because it's fucking Starbucks and it's huge.
Hmm.
They can effectively muscle out the competition just by having better margins.
Yeah.
And even if a minority, even a strong minority of the local consuming population actually prefers the competition.
Yeah. And moreover, right, big corporations can engage in dumping, right?
Hmm.
In international politics, dumping is what is called when a country essentially puts a good out into the international market at below the cost of production with the
Hmm.
with the intent of essentially destroying rival industries in other countries and then later, cranking up the price.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's I think that's what some companies are accusing SpaceX of doing, is price dumping on rocket launches.
yeah, that wouldn't be surprising. Um,
Yeah.
uh, while that's illegal in the international trade regime, it is perfectly legal to do domestically, right?
Great.
Walmart did this a lot, right? They roll into town, they sell their stuff at way below cost, drive out all the local businesses, uh, ratchet up prices, and then if it's not profitable to run, they just shut down, and that town's screwed.
Yeah.
Which is how you end up with tons of towns in rural America, which just have no stores nearby.
Yep. And then good luck getting startup capital, because what's the likelihood you're going to provide a viable service to this town you've never been to? You got to buy all the equipment and ship it out there and train people, and probably a lot of those people, left town with the collapse in the local economy, and so this is how towns die.
Yeah, and also if you do make it profitable again, right? Walmart likes to keep a hold of its old land, right?
Of course.
Right? They will Walmart really rarely sells off any of the land,
No, why would it?
even if the Walmart goes out of business, right? And even if they did, right, the structure, right, their building, right, isn't really good for anything else other than being a Walmart, right? You can't really convert it
Right.
into anything else.
It's a big weird retail warehouse. Yeah.
So if you come, right, if Walmart shuts down, and the town's screwed, right? If you come in and you open stuff up, right, Walmart's just gonna, and things become profitable again, right? Walmart's just gonna open back up again, right, and do the same
Right.
shit over.
Right. Because they can handle those startup costs,
Yeah, and then they're
even
gonna,
if they had to ship all the equipment back in.
right, and then they're gonna undercut you, and then it's gonna be the whole same process over again, right? And you're just
Right.
fucked. Uh,
Oh, come on, cat. I love you, cat, but I'm playing video games. I'm playing video games, cat. I'm not feeding you. It's not feeding you time. It's video games time.
And, like, America has lots of issues with, food deserts, right? Where you just don't live anywhere near a proper grocery store. And, lots of poor people have to, live out of convenience stores or dollar stores, right? And dollar stores aren't cheap, actually. They're just really shitty, right?
Yeah.
Their prices are as high or higher than regular grocery stores. And they're just exceptionally low quality goods. So like one obvious solution, right, to address this, right, is actually municipal corporations, right?
Oh, yeah.
Which is where you have the municipality, like run a grocery store or something.
It's a place in like Arkansas or something that did that.
There's actually a place in Texas that does that too.
It did Texas.
Yeah, and like it's an effective way of solving the food desert problem where it's like, well, we gotta attract corporations. How about we just run it ourselves, right? Like,
yeah,
why do we have to get fucking Walmart to come in here and do it?
That's the argument I have about the space program, or really anything, but particularly the space program. If for whatever reason it's just impossible to apply any like organizational or technological improvements to NASA, then why not just have the for-profit corporation run by the government and then have it reinvest 100% of its profits, or the profits go to the general fund or something like that? Why do we need private corporations in that way?
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to go south, but I don't remember how to go south. Here we go. Ooh, yeah. That's satisfying. Yeah, fuck you. I don't think I'm getting any XP for it, but I don't care.
At least you don't have to deal with it.
Yeah. I'd hardly get any XP for it anyway. Ooh. Is this how we finally break the...
No, we haven't got that power yet.
Okay. Well, I mean, so this quest here, this is a side quest. They want us to help defeat a bandit who's hiding out here. And I think this is the place where the little boy, who's the maybe our, like, Leaf's, like, great whatever grandson, wants us to get his ball from, I think. Wait. Oh, no, I got it.
Mm-hmm. See, the power was inside you the whole time.
It was.
The power to move around that rock slightly.
Yes. The power to overcome a perspective puzzle. The viewers we don't have going, you moron, like 3 episodes ago. Whatever. This game's designed to be tricky that way. Fucking fixed camera games. Ew. 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 Ooh. Neat. Cool. Aw, sad bug. Mecha Bee Destroyer Blast Lord. Yeah. That's the blood a-pumpin'. It's very impressive to be able to do that with what I think is an ocarina.
Mm-hmm.
That's not where I want to go. I'm doing the side quest for V's sister.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. I'm going.
It's also fun, because since COVID and all that stuff, right? More people working from home now, which means
Yeah.
like in New York, right? Like there's just tons of office buildings that are just empty now, uh,
Yep.
and it also means that lots of the businesses there to serve the office workers, are also just empty now.
Yeah.
So naturally the rent goes up.
Yeah. Exactly. I have a friend who is like, and he's studies economics, and I was been trying to convince him, to study a different sort of economics. And what finally got him to be like, maybe capitalism isn't as functional as they say it is that phenomenon.
Yeah.
Like, why the hell isn't the rent coming down? Why isn't the market correcting?
Yeah, and companies are having issue finding sufficient labor. So instead of raising prices, they just short staff and erode labor laws.
Yeah. Apparently, one of the things that is affecting New York City in particular about like office space and things like that is like something about the structure of the loans they took out. Like they get preferable interest rates, but if they ever say like we're going to lower our rent in order to attract, new tenants, then they end up having to pay it all back. Like the loan gets called immediately, something like that. Uh, and I'm like, yeah, you couldn't. It's one of those things where like you just everything will be perfectly fine as long as nothing anywhere in the world ever goes wrong.
Yeah.
There's no wars, there's no political conflict or anything, there's no giant virus pandemics, but no, can't have that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the whole COVID pandemic has shown that there's that the overall structure of American society is actually extremely fragile.
Yeah.
There's no like robustness into the system.
I think it's just true of the whole fucking world. I mean, I'm sure there's some relatively small places that are fairly robust. Apparently, New Zealand is one of those places, which is why all the rich people are building bunkers there. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's not like China's going to fare well if the United States can't consume a huge amount of its output.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you know what they say: being tightly integrated as trading partners will prevent war.
Works every time.
It definitely worked the last time someone said that's how it worked.
And the time before that too.
Right.
And the time before that one.
Yep. Every single time. And it's not only is it definitely working now, it's totally working now among two major communist, semi-communist, or former communist powers.
Yeah.
I don't know who could possibly have predicted this somewhere between 50 and 150 years ago.
I mean, making piles of money has never gotten in the way of good war.
No.
Oh yeah, that's also another thing about like that 60 Minutes bit about like how the defense industry's price gouge and overcharge
Um,
uh,
I
the,
didn't.
the U.S. military.
I didn't see that one, but I'm not surprised.
Yeah, they do all kinds of shit, right? But like one of the things they do, right, is the new that new stealth airplane that they're always just about to roll out. The F.
The F-35.
I think so, right? The one that costs like trillions.
I think they are flying the F-35 right now.
Yeah. Well, apparently, the military cannot legally repair them.
Oh, they have to hire out a contractor.
Yes.
Yeah, that's how NASA's written too. NASA has to take contracts when it has the opportunity. It can't do things in house.
Even when it would be cheaper.
Yeah, or maybe it just has to do commercial off the shelf. I can't remember, but well, it's like the Watergate report right?
Mm-hmm.
I think was a good example of this. I forget what it is, the National Printing Bureau or whatever, right? There is a government office which handles printing things for internal and external consumption, and to sell it was something about to sell it to the public. Each copy had to be sold for the amortized price of the first one. So the government is just not allowed to engage in economies of scale.
Yeah.
Even when it easily could.
Yeah, you have to run the government agencies purposely stupid. The government agencies are frequently run poorly on purpose.
Right. Because otherwise they would just completely blow everybody else out of the water. Imagine that.
Yeah.
So I simply straight up cannot solve this long series of fetch quests without twice as many berries as I have right now.
Well,
Go have
some adventure. Get richer.
I will.
Rise and grind.
Maybe next week. This just seems like a good time to stop.
Oh, alright. Well, anything you have to say?
I'm having a good time, it's late.
Alright. Anything to say to the streaming audience before we leave?
What did I say last time? Shareholders should be unhappy?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's basically true. And people who prevent systems from operating efficiently and sustainably in order to line their own pockets should also be unhappy. I want them to lose all of their money and to have to live like regular people and to be sad. And to feel bad about themselves.
Here we are richest. We are prejudiced against the rich. If you are rich, we will judge you based on stereotypes.
Yeah, no, you know that episode of South Park where Mr. Garrison disguises his racial prejudice under an economic prejudice, as though that is what people who don't like rich people are doing?
Mm-hmm.
Because the more I watch South Park these days, the more disturbed I am. I'm like, unironically, fuck rich people. But, there's... Okay, I mean, if you're like a sports star, then, you know, if you play football and you took concussion pounding hits for 15 years, and now you have a few $1 million, then that's fine. Or if you saved your money your whole life and you've got a few $1 million to retire on, that's fine. I'm talking about the big CEOs who live lives of unimaginable power and luxury by exploiting and immiserating millions or billions of people. They should not be happy. They should feel small and be small and lose all of their money and live like regular people and be sad on the inside, and people should laugh at them. And I don't really care if they're nice people or not, because you can't be a nice person and live that way.
Well said.
Yep. I'm going to say it one more time.